Okay, that is it for the non-spoiler section of this video. Leave if you have not read Crown of Midnight. And I'm serious, because as soon as I say bye-bye to y'all, I'm going to say something that will ruin the entire book for you. Not ruin it, it's still an awesome book. But you'll be mad at me, and I don't want you mad at me, so bye. If you haven't read the book, bye, bye, bye. I'm serious. I really hope y'all are gone, because Selena is Aileen, however you say her name. I knew it. Honestly, I knew it from the second she said that there's no way that they could have found the lost heir, because, well, I just knew it. I knew it. And I also knew that she had powers. I knew that was going to come. I was not guessing that she was half fae. I was not guessing that she was going to, like, shift and have pointy ears and all of that. I was not guessing that. Honestly, I guess she was kind of royalty or something. Somehow, I figured she was related to Queen Elena because of the whole, there's a part in the very end of Throne of Glass where she talks about how blood sticks together, blood looks out for blood, or whatever. So I figured she was related to Queen Elena. I did figure that, and that's probably why when they mentioned the lost heir of Terrason, I'm not going to say that right, I was like, that's her! That is her! And when she told him, when she whispered in Kaol's ear at the very end, I was like, she's telling him. She is telling him she is Aileen. I'm going to call her Aileen. Please feel free to comment in the box below if I'm saying her name wrong and you know how to say it. But I'm going to go with Aileen for now. Oh my god, she is the queen. FYI, I was torn between the Dorian and Kaol whole situation. And then I read this book, and not only did the comment about how after all these years she finally feels like she's home, that part, that part is like, okay, well, if you feel like you're home with Kaol, I'm guessing you should probably be with Kaol. And I'm foreseeing that in the end game. But I'm also foreseeing that in the end game because, come on now. She's going to, in the very end, be Queen of Terrason, however you want to pronounce it. And Dorian will be the king of Adarlan. Looking at it, still can't pronounce it. Whatever. He's going to be the king of the A country. She's going to be the queen of the T country. And this whole book is about how, well, one of the things about this series is that those need to be their own countries. That they need, so they can't be married. They can't end up together because then there won't be different countries. There'll be one. And no. Also, though they're very, very distantly, they are technically related. You know, distantly, but still. Anyways, so I'm all Team Kaol now. I did want Dorian with Nehemia, though that has been complicated, and also not to mention that that would be complicated with the whole me saying that they need to be their separate countries. But anyways, okay, now once again, spoil, if you're still here and you haven't read Crown of Midnight, go away, because this is another big spoiler, and this one probably will ruin part of the book for you. Nehemia. Oh my god. Okay, I did not cry when Nehemia died, only because of one reason, and I'm holding on. I'm like, I don't believe Nehemia is dead. At least not dead. Maybe, like, I don't know. I think she's coming back. And I know she kind of came back. Honestly, that threw me for a loop. I thought she was, like, not dead. There's no way she is dead. And then she does the portal, and when Nehemia doesn't come in the portal at first, I'm like, it's because she's not dead. She's not dead. She's going to find out. Nehemia is not dead. Nehemia is not dead. She can't be dead. And then she comes, and I'm like, well, so obviously she's some sort of dead. She is some sort of dead. I still don't think she is dead. I think she will come back. And I would love Nehemia with Dorian. Dorian needs someone, because I'm officially Team Kaol. Whatever. I'm horrible with names. I'm officially for that relationship with Selena and Kaol. And so Dorian needs someone. And I love Nehemia. Nehemia just can't be dead. She can't. Honestly, two of the most powerful chapters in this book, I thought, were the slave the slave girls chapter when she hears about Nehemiah's death and goes off on the overseer. I loved that, and it was so sad. Like when she adds her name to the list of the dead. And the singer. I'm not gonna try to remember her name because I probably couldn't pronounce it anyways. But her, I'm like, I love her. I love. Okay. Anyways, so yes, I was talking about two most powerful chapters: the slave girl and the queen and the princess. And I love that they called them the queen and the princess, and they didn't give her names. But in my review, that's the quote I use, is the whole "one of them must break, only then can it begin." And I'm like, what's gonna begin? Why? Okay, and I know that there's a why. I am sure that there is a why. There has to be. But I'm just saying, like, Nehemiah, just tell Selena. I don't understand why Queen Elena and Elena, whatever, why the queen and the princess don't just tell Selena what's going on. I understand that Dorian is not ready. Dorian is freaked out about the whole magic thing. I get that. He really isn't ready. Selena would be a whole lot more ready if you'd actually tell her what's going on. Oh, Archer. I was really kind of had high hopes for Archer. I wanted to like him. I think it's his story about the kind of being similar to Selena and about how they're being used and they never really had choices. And I really, really wanted to like Archer. And then he turns out to be, oh my God, I hated him. I hated and I hated and I hated him. He was horrible. Well, I don't know. I had really high hopes with Archer, and I got disappointed because he kind of turned out not evil, messed up. He turned out messed up. I say not evil. He did a very evil thing, but I have a hard time calling him evil when in the same book you have the king. King's evil. Archer's messed up. Yes. Okay, so let's talk about Selena stuff. I love Selena, if you didn't catch that. I talked earlier about how Selena manages to become both more girly and more assassiny. And I know assassiny is not a word, but badass. Okay, I absolutely love the image of Selena and Nehemia on the bed, and I just imagine them eating chocolate and ice cream or something, and one of them sitting cross-legged on the bed, the other Selena laying down with her legs kicked up and talking about boys and just being like a little girl, like a teenage girl. They're teenage girls. Really, I don't know how old Nehemia is, but she's around teenage. She may be early 20s. Point. Doesn't matter. Just they're teenage girls, and I'm talking with the boy, and it's just, I loved it. I love to see that it's so human from the famous assassin. I loved it. I just loved it, and I loved for her to be happy for a minute. And even though I completely agree with Nehemia, everything she said, I'm like, oh, come on. Let her be happy for just a second. Just let her be simple. Just for a little bit. And it was for a little bit. Anyways. And then you also have, you have this scene where she's a teenage girl, like so much like a modern day teenage girl. It could have been written in a modern contemporary fluffy novel, okay? It was so cute. And then you have where she goes killing calm. The killing calm. And she goes off on those guys who kidnapped Kaol. And she goes off on Kaol, but that's a different story. And the creepy craziness of when her nails are on Dorian's neck, and then she tries to kill Kaol, and I'm just like, oh, and when she finally goes off on Archer. Okay, and now into the book. She is sailing off to Wendelin, once again, probably mispronouncing that as well, but she's sailing off, and she's going to a place where like her mother is descended. no, her mother's from Wendelin, and she's going there. I think if I understand correctly, they still have magic. I think I'm confused whether or not Wendelin has magic, or if they just have the Fae. Can you have Fae without magic? I don't know. But she's gone to Wendelin, and if they have magic, that'll be really interesting because then she can shift and she can be Fae again. But even if they don't, it's still like the home of her ancestors and the people who know about the Fae, and where she can actually say that who she is. Probably shouldn't say who she is, but what she is, that she's half Fae. And yeah, and it's like so many possibilities, but I'm with her. I'm with Celaena. I have no idea how she's going to get out of this because she has to come back, like she says, or Chaol and all of Nehemiah's family are dead, and she can't exactly fake the deaths of the king and the prince. She can't even, like, say, she can't even, the king wants her to do it publicly. Like, there's nothing she can do. It is kind of a do or die. This is a pick the side. It's a kill them or don't. Go hurry back, get right back on the boat and sail back and kidnap Chaol and Nehemiah's family so that they cannot be killed when you don't kill the king of Wendelin. Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen. I have no idea. I want the next book so bad. So bad. Oh, I want it. Okay, but very end, Chaol finds out that Celaena is Aline, the lost heir of the Tea Country, whatever. And I'm just sitting here like, with the way it was going through his mind, I'm like, okay, I get, you gotta think this through, Chaol. I get that she is supposed to be, as the last heir of Terrasen, she should be your enemy. And she makes that comment when she tries to kill you, that you will always be my enemy. But she loves you. She told you she has to come back because of you. And she, like, and you know the will thing about how she has to be visibly dead and she has to have not died a traitor. So, you know that I don't understand, I understand why he's thinking these things, but I don't understand why he's thinking these things. How can he doubt her? Like, this doesn't, and how is he still loyal at all to the king? But, okay, so I get, he can't be loyal to the king. Or, forget the king. Take the king out of it. He is loyal to Dorian, and Dorian is the prince, and therefore will be the king. But come on now. You know that even if she chooses you, Chaol, she loves Dorian in her own, in a different way. She's good friends with Dorian. She's not going to take his country. She just wants her country back. And Dorian will give it to her. Honestly, this honestly could be a lot easier if they just all talk. Let's be honest here. Let's really open up about what's going on. Kill the king, and then us three, like, come on now. It's perfect. And I did like, there was a comment when, after the big fight with the portal and everything like that, okay, so there is a point at the very end where after the big battle with the portal and everything, and Dorian is going back to his room, and he makes this comment about how it not being about him, it being about them. I don't remember the specifics of that comment, but it really struck me because I kept on thinking, okay, is it about them as in him and Celaena, or did he get what I get, and then it's about those three. Those three are so important. I'm waiting for Chaol's position, or Chaol's place in this threesome. Because we know that Queen Elena is considering, or not considering, we know that Queen Elena has a plan, or knows the plan, or knows the fate, or knows Dorian's place in all of this, because she talks about how the prince isn't ready yet. So we know Dorian is a part of this whole fate, destiny, how things are supposed to go. And we obviously know Celaena is. But how is Chaol? And I know, and like, I can get it in the abstract when they're talking about how Celaena is always talking about how he is the men you want. He is the kind and loyal and devoted. And that's the kind of person you want in these perfect courts that they talk about in these perfect countries. So he has to be important. They're all important. They're all important. So I really thought it was poignant and pointed and needed to be said and struck a chord with me. The whole, it's not about me, it's about them. Or it's not about him, it's about them. Whatever. I loved it. I love this book. Loved this book so much. I need the next book. I need it now. Like, bad. Like, I really, really need the next book in this series. You can't end with this big reveal that Selena is Aline, whatever her name is, and that she's going off to this country that was where her mom was from, and you have Kale doubting everything, and Dorian getting powers, and I need the third book. I need it now. I do have the Assassin's Blade. I'm reading the Assassin's Blade right now. Bye.